So Meghan Markle has put herself back into the spotlight with a Netflix series called With Love Meghan, which is an interesting title coming from someone who has primarily profited off trashing her family and her husband's family. But as expected, the reaction to the show is on par with everything else that her and her privacy-seeking prince have done. No one likes it, and most of us wish they would just stop. So let me briefly tell you what the series is about and what people have said, and then what my personal theory is about what I think Meghan is actually trying to accomplish by doing this. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. I appreciate you being here. Do me a couple of favors, become a subscriber to my channel, hit the thumbs up button, and turn on the notifications so that you never miss out on a conversation like the one we're about to have. So as I said, Meghan's new series just came out on Netflix, and the set is her at home cooking, entertaining, and doing a bunch of DIY projects. And I just want to make it clear, I did try to have an open mind when I decided to click on this show. I didn't want to automatically dislike it because it's Meghan Markle and I dislike her and know that she has an extremely toxic reputation. I wanted to give her as fair a shot as I could. However, who she is as a person is relevant to the work that both she and Harry do, and looking at it through that lens actually matters. Unfortunately, these two have created an absolutely awful reputation for themselves, and it will forever taint everything that they do, probably for the rest of their lives, and they only have themselves to blame for it. So how I'm going to go through this video is that I will show you a few photos from the show. I'll describe what's going on. I can't use clips for copyright reasons, so I'll just have to kind of give my best narration of the events. Then we'll read the response from both critics and the general public, and then I'll give you my reaction to some of the things that Meghan is doing in this show, and then my own theories about, again, what I think that she's really trying to achieve. So on that note, as just an overview of the series, online it says Meghan Markle invites friends and famous guests to a beautiful California estate where she shares cooking, gardening, and hosting tips. So the first 3 minutes of the first episode is her talking about the bees in this beehive. Like, they go on and on about these bees, how each bee has a job, the life expectancy of a bee, the history of bees, and she's completely amazed about the honey that she gets from this beehive. Next, she walks into this little kitchen and talks about how her friend is coming to visit, who happens to be her longtime makeup artist. She then goes into how she makes bath salts with Epsom salts and essential oils, and she's basically putting this stuff together so she can put this little tray beside the bed in the guest room because she wants her guests to have an entire experience when they stay with her. And the end result, which I don't have a photo of, is just this cute little tray with some popcorn that she's made, and she flavored it with truffle oil and salts and pretzels that she bought from the store and rebagged, and then handmade labels on everything, and then flowers on the side. Then her friend shows up and she makes an entire veggie platter for this person. Make this one skillet pasta together, which is supposed to be really easy, but doesn't look easy at all. And then, because she knows that her guest has a sweet tooth, she makes him this huge, complicated cake, which I know I can relate to, because if I'm not making like an 8-layer cake for the people that come to my house, what am I really doing with my life? They also make candles together with the beeswax that she collected from the beehive. And it's just basically a whole day of cooking and entertaining. One of the conversations that they have together in the kitchen while they're making these things together is her makeup artist friend says to her that Meghan has always shown her love through food. And they talk about how they met and the development of their friendship. And then they go through some of the highlights of Meghan's career, which are few and far between. They talk about her website, The Tig, and her time on the TV show Suits, and he talks about how appreciative he was of how kind and considerate she was of him, as apparently when he showed up to work for her, she offered him coffee. At the end of the day, he says, "Thank you for having me," and she says, "Oh, you're welcome." And they talk about how important it is to do these things, especially for the people that you love, and he loves how they spent time together learning these things together, and it's just all very cute. In the next episode, her famous guest is Mindy Kaling, and the theme of this one is entertaining for kids' birthday parties or just kids' parties in general. So the opening scene is that she's in this garden and she's picking berries and talking about how her kids know when she's making preserves because she makes them all the time and they're apparently familiar with the scent. She then heads to the kitchen to make this fresh from scratch frittata for Mindy Kaling. Then she makes the little fruit dishes. She talks about how she's used to working quickly because she has kids. Then Mindy is just absolutely blown away that Meghan went through all of this effort for her. They make these little crostinis. I think that's what they're called. I am not fancy like that, so I think that's what they're called. But some of them have little flowers on them. Some of them have little ladybugs on them. They make little star-shaped and heart-shaped sandwiches. Meghan shows us how to make a rainbow with fresh fruit because I'm sure no one's ever thought of that before. And in the middle of all this, Mindy just casually and not at all in a scripted moment starts talking to Meghan about being on a TV show. Mindy says one of the things that they have in common is that they were both on TV series for a long time. Mindy says she was on The Office for 8 years, and Meghan says she was on Suits for 7 years. In another completely natural and unscripted moment, Mindy casually just asks Meghan to talk to her about her look, about what she's wearing. Meghan, this is the outfit. You can't see the pants, but Meghan says her pants are from Zara. Her sweater is from Loro Piana, and the sweater over her shoulders is from Jenny King. So I looked it up, and the outfit that she is wearing is worth about $2,000, and that's not including the jewelry. So after all of this prep, the finished product is a tea party in this little greenhouse with a balloon arch that Meghan says she made herself. So you get the idea. I personally have only made it through a couple of episodes, and I don't know if I can handle much more, but I will watch more if you guys want me to. But I wanted to give you an idea of what the series looks like, and I understand that the rest of it is more of the same, but I also wanted you to see what this is about so we can understand people's reactions to it. This particular article talks about the critics' response to this show. It says Meghan Markle's pointless Netflix cooking show mercilessly dragged by critics. Quote, exercise in narcissism. It says there's not a lot of love for With Love Meghan. Meghan Markle's new lifestyle series that premiered on Netflix Tuesday is getting dragged by critics and then some. The 8-episode show produced by Markle and Prince Harry's Archwell Productions features the Duchess of Sussex, 43, showing off her cooking and gardening skills at home in Montecito, California, with appearances by some of her celebrity friends, including Mindy Kaling. Heritage said Markle's new show probably won't turn things around unless her broader public suddenly develops a hankering for long-form television programs about a woman filling children's party bags with seeds and Monica honey. He also called the former actress thirsty and her show joyless. Heritage added, nobody wants to see Meghan making decorative ladybird crostini with Mindy Kaling. The independent writer Katie Rosinski gave With Love Meghan a 1-star review and called the series queasy and exhausting. On Tuesday's episode of the British talk show Loose Women, panelist Jane Moore called Markle's show boring and said she found my attention drifting when she tuned in. Then came the reviews from fellow working moms who you would think would be her target audience, yet I haven't found one that had anything nice to say so far. It said, working moms backlash at Meghan Markle's Netflix show. Parents condemn Duchess's unrelatable cookery tips for busy families as she's ridiculed for kids' party bags with gardening tools, peas, and seeds. Parents have mocked Meghan Markle's cookery tips on her new Netflix show that they say are over the top and extremely time-consuming. The Duchess 43 is seen in her With Love Meghan lifestyle show discussing making tea bags, candles, and balloon arches for Archie, and jam, which she says she does with her 3-year-old daughter, Lilibet. She offers tips on children's party bags that she fills with seeds, mini gardening tools, sugar snap peas, and sweet basil. But parents have already flocked to Mumsnet to criticize Meghan for portraying an unrealistic lifestyle, labeling the party bags as like something you would get on a Saga bus tour. Another said the show is not anyway relatable, adding, everything is extremely time-consuming and over the top. It's literally giving yourself a ton of work in order for you to laud it over others with how thoughtful and talented you are. Another parent wrote on Mumsnet, I don't think she'd come in for quite so much flack if she actually really did all of this stuff in real life. I don't believe for 1 minute that she actually keeps bees or that she grows her own veggies or arranges fruits into rainbows for breakfast. And then there were countless scathing posts on social media. This one says, Meghan Markle's latest narcissist Netflix fiasco begins with faux beekeeping, faux gardening, and faux cooking. No clue how to chop garlic in her pasta dish is revolting nonsense. Filmed at a nearby rental as she awaits an employee or house guest. It's filmed in an affected voice with an annoying soundtrack that devolves as she pretends to cook, bake, craft, and make candles in 5 hairstyle/wardrobe changes in 1 fake morning. This one says, in Meghan Markle's Netflix cookery series, she teaches us mere mortals how to transfer pretzels from one bag into another. Several sources say both Mary Berry and Prue Leith have resigned from their own shows for not thinking of this genius method first. Another one says, please stop this insanity. What has to be done for Netflix to finally come to the same realization as Spotify, who called Meghan Markle and Harry grifters, that they are are not marketable and let them quietly go about their Sussex life. Who dresses in an evening gown to cook? So you get the idea. No one likes this series. Now, for my thoughts. First, as I said in the beginning, it is impossible not to think of what we know about who Meghan Markle is as a person in real life when watching this. The title With Love Meghan is a joke because, as I said earlier, and as we all know, both her and Harry's primary source of income has come from them bashing and lying about both of their families. Not to mention, there have been countless reports from people who have worked with them or just associated with them that Meghan is a bully, that she has made staff cry, that she is mean and nasty, and she's just overall extremely difficult and unpleasant to be around. So it's a little cringy to hear her constant use of the word joy throughout this series because no matter how many times you say it, it doesn't make it true. Actions speak louder than words. And based on both her and Harry's actions, they do anything but spread joy in their lives. These two complain about everything, but they're always the target, they're always the victim, and they're always either trashing people or suing them. So it doesn't work. The next issue is how scripted everything is. There are clearly things that Meghan wants to make sure get talked about in this show. Certain things that she wants to convey because she wants to remind people that she is an elite and that she deserves to be in the presence of Hollywood celebrities. She has been desperate for the attention of these people since her and Harry moved to Montecito a few years ago, yet even celebrities want nothing to do with them. So she has her makeup artist bring up her time on Suits so she can remind people that she's an actress as well. So she has Mindy Kaling bring up her time on TV as well as something that they have in common so that Hollywood will see her as being just like Mindy Kaling, which she's not because Mindy has had a successful career and she does get invited to events, but Meghan has a failed career and she has to beg anyone to invite her to anything. She also has Mindy talk about her outfit so she can let people know that she's wearing designer items, and again, just like the elites that live in Los Angeles. So none of it is natural. She and Meghan were talking about their careers on TV. I couldn't help but think that's not something that moms getting together would really talk about. We usually talk about our kids and the realities of raising a family and laughing about the chaos that it brings. That is what most conversations with other moms are like. In the same vein as the lack of authenticity, there's nothing original about this show. When you watch someone like Martha Stewart or Rachel Ray, their decor and cooking ideas mainly come from them. Yes, they're inspired by other people that are in the same industry, but people watch them to get their unique ideas. Meghan is just following someone else's recipes and their decor tips. I get the same thing from watching this series as I would if I just went and did a search on Pinterest or TikTok. Nothing is hers. So why would I watch this knowing she's not providing anything that I don't already have access to? And as far as the criticism of it being completely unrelatable, it absolutely is. The house that she's in is not her own. She rented an estate to shoot this on. And I mean, she said she didn't want the cameras in her own home, which I get, but it added to the unrelatability because we want to see what you do in your home. So it makes me wonder, is the beehive hers? Is the garden she's picking berries in hers? I don't think that it is. I don't think any of it is real because none of it is even her property. And with all of these little tips and tricks that she's doing, no one's going to make homemade bath salts. No one's going to rebag popcorn and pretzels. No one's going to set up a bouquet of flowers for their guests. There is no one, at least in the wider audience of people who would likely watch something like this, that has the time, the money, or the resources to do anything that she did. But last of all, why do I really think Meghan did this show? Because I don't believe that the everyday working mom is truly her audience, though it should be because that is who is most likely, again, to click on a show like this. But her audience are the very people who will not watch the show, which are the Hollywood elite. This show, in my opinion, was not to give cooking or entertaining tips to us. Meghan is essentially selling herself to the wealthy celebrities that live around her because she is still desperate to gain access to their circles. But because she's not getting invited into their homes and they're not coming to visit her unless they're getting paid to be in a docuseries, at least in my opinion, she can't show them personally how generous and thoughtful she is. So she's like, I'll just make a series and show them. She wants to let them know, if you're my friend and come to visit me, this is the treatment that you'll get. Don't believe all of the reports about being a bully. My makeup artist said that I offered him coffee once, so I've got to be a nice person. This is who I am, and I promise it's worth it to let me hang out with you or for you to hang out with me. That is who her target audience is. But the funny thing is, those are the people who won't watch this show, who don't need these tips, because when they need this stuff done, they're just going to hire somebody else to do it. Mindy even even said in one of the clips, as Meghan is telling her how to do this balloon arch herself, that she doesn't know how to do it, but the person she hires knows how to do it. And I guarantee that Mindy Kaling is going to continue to hire somebody to make balloon arches for her. So yeah, overall, this was a plea to the Hollywood A-list. Please let Meghan Markle be your friend. If she wanted to reach us, she would have done it in her home and let her kids and her dogs run around her while she was trying to get this stuff done. And she would have brought recipes and entertaining ideas that have like less than 5 ingredients. They take less than 15 minutes and can be done in the midst of normal chaos. Anyway, there was so much more to respond to, but I wanted to touch on just a few of the things that stood out to me. Ultimately, I don't think that Meghan is ever going to be able to produce a successful project, and she only has herself to blame. People know that she doesn't do things because she's actually passionate about it. It's about getting attention from the right people and elevating herself within elite circles and making millions of dollars. And the knowledge that nothing she does is truly sincere just turns people off right away. But that is all I have for you in this one. I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up button. Other than that, keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one.